There are solutions that are there, but it needs the bravery, it needs the courage, and it needs the boldness.
We just wanted to make as much noise about it as possible.
Leaders have to act on the promises they made in Paris.
The SDGs are like a blueprint of what the needs of society are.
Welcome to the SDG Roundtable. Our guest today is a vibrant leader and champion for the Sustainable Development Goals. We are thrilled to be joined by co-chair of the UN Secretary General's SDG Advocates, Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau. A very warm welcome to you.
Thank you, Anne-Marie.
As co-chair of the Secretary General's SDG Advocates, why are the SDGs so important to you and for Canada?
Well, I think they're just important, period. What we're seeing right now everywhere around the world is a level of anxiety about the future that I don't think we've ever seen at this level before. I mean, whether it's the real impacts of climate change that are increasingly felt by everyone, whether it's the spreading of conflicts and instability in terms of food, in terms of energy all around the world, whether it's the pandemic that knocked us all for a loop, people are worried. And people are worried that they're going to be able to offer a better future to their kids. And that's not obvious. Even in wealthy places where that had always been the story, people are really not certain about the future. So showing that as a world we can focus on the basic building blocks of success. The SDG goals are what is necessary to create a successful planet, full stop, over the coming decades. If we don't get them right, then nobody succeeds. And the idea that any corner of the world, because you can build up a strong enough society to not be impacted by the rest of the world, well, that's gone out the window. We are all so interconnected. We have to know that the only way for us and our families to succeed is to make sure people on the other side of the world have the opportunity to succeed. And the SDGs are a roadmap to do that. That's why it's so important that we be working on them, both at home and around the world, because it's all connected.
That's so important, that interconnected part. And also this idea of giving that hope that it gives us, and how, because everyone wants a better future for their families, for their children. And this new SDG Progress Report launched just this week showed that only 12% of the SDG targets are on track. The Secretary General has warned that if we do not act now, he said the 2030 agenda will become an epitaph for a world that might have been. He also said that we have an opportunity to shift the tide this year and to make real progress in the second half, what we're calling the halftime. We're halfway there on the SDGs, but we're down at halftime. What are some of those innovations? What do we need? What are you seeing that could really help us accelerate progress toward the SDGs?
Well, first of all, yes, we're down at halftime, but I remain incredibly optimistic. I mean, yes, we had a pandemic and global circumstances that slowed down the progress we would have liked to have made, but it also showed us what we're capable of. The way we've come together to counter the food crisis caused by Russia's illegal invasion, the way we worked on vaccines and getting them out around the world through the pandemic and supporting people, that shows what we're capable of. So, there's a lot of politicians, a lot of people out there that are amplifying fears and anxiety, and I guess that has its place as well. But getting too much doom and gloom isn't what motivates people. That showing people what we can do and what can happen is how we build a better future. In Canada, for 50 years, we've been talking about bringing in affordable childcare across the country, and no government had ever been able to muster the energy to do it. Well, coming through the pandemic, where too many families understood how productivity decreases when you got kids stuck at home. We were able to leap on that and actually deliver. We're in the process of delivering $10 a day childcare right across the country. So that's an example of how you move forward. And on the international stage, we're continuing to step up on investing in women's organizations and women's equality opportunities, in advancing the fight for gender equality, because that's a fundamental, that's a goal in itself, but it's also a means of bringing better peace, better stability, better security, better prosperity. When you empower women and girls, as we all know, you change the world. So the fact that we are doing concrete things, and yes, we're probably not doing enough, but we've also seen, including around climate change, where we've gotten some really positive news globally over the past years of the things we're doing mattering, we are able to bend these curves. And I am relentlessly optimistic about our capacity to challenge ourselves and work together and deliver the kind of future we all want for our kids.
I love that determined optimism, and I completely agree. We have something we call Women Rise for All, because we do see it when women have the means and the abilities and the access to information that, the impossible happens.
It changes everything.
Finally, following our SDG Roundtable tradition, if you could capture your thoughts and feelings about the SDGs in one word, what would it be?
Ambition. The SDGs are an ambitious perspective on what the world should be and can be, but that's not even the way I'm using the word ambition. It's about personal ambition. It's about wanting to see your kids do better than you did. It's about wanting to be able to work hard and deliver yourself a better retirement. You're ambitious for what you can have as an impact in your community around you as a citizen. We keep talking about SDGs as if these are things that the UN or that heads of government need to do, and yes, they are. But individuals who have ambition for themselves, who have ambition for their families, for their communities, have every capacity to step up. I mean, what we've seen is the challenges we're in as a world right now isn't because one person in one government somewhere decided to flip a switch and cause challenges. It's the cumulated impact of millions upon billions of actions that we all take every single day to either make things slightly better or ignore the consequences and make things slightly worse. And if we have ambition, true ambition for what we can do and what we must do for the world around us to deliver that better future we want for ourselves and for our kids, then every single one of us can and will step up to shape the world for the better.
Ambition is really, truly the perfect word for us to close on. Thank you, Prime Minister of Canada and co-chair of the SDG Advocates, Justin Trudeau, for joining us for this SDG Roundtable. You can learn more about the progress of the Sustainable Development Goals by following the link on this video. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anne-Marie.
Thank you. And thank you for being with us.